Just this morning, I was made aware of a breakthrough in hair technology in video games.
Mm-hmm.
In a video from Pop Culture Brain on Instagram, I learned that algorithms have been developed to help depict black hair. They pulled this information from an article from The Guardian by Gloria uh, Aladipo, and I'm just going to read the whole article because this must be heard. So the article is titled, This is Black Hair. Technological advances are making waves in animation. That's a fun little pun. Um, for decades, Afro textured hair animation has lagged behind. Illustrations of straight hairstyles. Rendering of black characters do not typically represent the plethora of black hairstyles or specific attributes of black hair. The kink in their strands, the spring in their curls. But now, for the first time ever, researchers have developed algorithms to depict coily black hair in computer graphics, a huge step for the portrayal of black characters. The findings have been published in a new study, which will be available to animators worldwide. The study is a collaboration between researchers at Yale University and University of California, Santa Cruz. There's all these papers on computer graphics algorithms that have been published in the last 50 years, especially on hair, Kim said. Nothing has ever tried to get this type of hair before. Typically, the
Ooh.
depiction of coily hair in computer graphics is solved through labor, said Kim, with animators and artists going in to add details by hand. If the algorithms didn't support you, they just had to go in and move each vertex until they got things to look okay. Since such adjustments are on an individual basis, depictions of Afro texture hair could look off if an animator or artist doesn't have the intuition when it comes to a specific curly hair type. But the latest algorithm could make the process of animating Afro texture hair more standard, as animators will now have formulas to achieve coily hair.
Ooh.
The research that first informed the study started in 2020, with the AM Dark, a co-author on the paper, founded the open source Afro Hair Library, a free database with 3D images of black hair created by black artists. Before the creation of OSAHL, 3D asset marketplaces, where animators and 3D artists can shop through models for animation projects, contained racist imagery of black people, showing them as mammy caricatures or wearing generic tribal wear. My goal with the library was
Okay.
to create a new container that not only addresses the representation, but also create a community for black artists to have discussions around, said Dark, an associate professor at the University of California, Santa Cruz, Departments of Performance, Play, and Design. In some of the most lauded papers about hair graphics, Dark found that Afro-textured hair either wasn't represented at all or is misrepresented. In one paper, she said, the provided example for African hair was straight hair. That, to me, encapsulates the problem. The most recent paper from Kim, Dark and the other researchers created algorithms that animate three major attributes of Afro-textured hair: phase locking, period skipping, and switchback. Phase locking is when coily hair grows out as a helix, or a spongy layer closer to the scalp before forming more detailed curls as hair grows, Kim said. Period skipping describes when hair textures leap out or curl patterns, adding the appearance of a frizz around a curl. Period skipping specifically allows the hair to look more matte or diffused, and switchback is when the direction of a curl changes, creating a kink, said Kim, a phenomenon that naturally occurs in plants and polymers.
Mm.
Systemic barriers within animation, including diversity in hiring, often means improvements on how better to illustrate black characters can fall to the wayside. We do not have black women abundant in computer graphics, which means we don't have black women reviewers in the papers, Kim said. We don't have black people looking at research saying, oh, that's what curly hair looks like, or that's authentic, or even this is standard for curly hair. But the latest paper signals a significant change in increasingly accurate representation and calling out existing prejudices within computer graphics, specifically the assumption that black hair is niche, Dark said, which is an insane thing when the biggest continent on the face of the planet Earth is Africa, and black people make up a significant portion of the people on the planet Earth, and even people who aren't black also have hair similar to us. That's an
Right.
insane thing for anyone to think. Um, but yeah, with so many other things, whether it's food or music or fashion, when you prioritize black features, black cultures, it actually opens up creativity for everyone. The black diaspora pushes culturally in a lot of different ways. Black hair is so pliable. There are so many anime hairstyles that cannot be recreated by white hair without an ungodly amount of hair gel. Whereas with black hair with a minimal amount of like shea butter, you can absolutely scout someone's hair to look like Goku. Which I'm sure you've seen. Like a few years back, a mother had like their son wanted to dress up as Goku, so she styled his hair like Goku, and it looked really cool because black hair
I
is
saw.
pliable like that. It's sick, and like this confirms you know, what I thought was the reason that we don't see a lot of black hair in games was just it's the fact that the tech field is just dominated by white men. It's not a lot of black people,
Right.
let alone black women, like they say in the article. And as a result, nobody's there to fight for us and fight for what we need in games in terms of hair textures. Um,
Mm.
it's not. It wasn't going to be until a black person got into a position of power to make this change for it to happen. As we've learned time and time again, if we don't do it ourselves, no one will do it for us. But what are your thoughts?
Exactly. No, I completely agree. It's like I'm glad that this technology exists now, but I not loathe, but like laud the fact that the only reason it didn't exist prior to this moment is because of the like push out of black people and black women, especially in like science and technology fields. And it's like we could have had this years ago. Alas,
Like,
you know, and
in the comments under this
mm,
video, you have so many people who also work in the tech field saying like, "Oh no, this isn't a race thing. This isn't it's because just technology's hard, and they're right in the sense that yeah, hair technology has come a long way, and you always hear when you hear like people who work in 3D animation talking about hair, especially realistic hair, they talk about how hard it is. And I think we all get that hair is hard because even now in games,
mm,
hair looks incredible in games now, but it still doesn't look perfect. The best it's ever looked for me is in Resident Evil 4, which we were just talking about. In Resident Evil 4
right.
Remake, Leon's hair looks stupendous. It looks incredible. There's literally a whole graphic setting in the settings for his hair.
That's
um,
crazy.
and yeah, his hair looks incredible. And there, it's hard to make hair look good. But
Yeah.
the truth is, if people have been working on black hair as long as they've been working on white hair, black hair, we would have more black hairstyles in games with character creators. That is just a fact. Stop trying to pretend
No, for
like it's
real.
not a race thing. It absolutely is.
It is a racing thing, like beyond a shadow of a doubt. Like uh, it can't not be a
By
race thing
definition,
because
it
like
cannot be.
right. Oh, it's not a race thing. The whole point of it is an entire race is being underrepresented because the people that are part of that race aren't in the conversations to make themselves represented in media like this. Don't piss me off.
Exactly.
Mm.
But yeah, this is exciting. I'm so excited to see the fruits of their labor, bear fruit, and to see games in the future start to pull from this resource. This is a dream that I've literally had. I've had a dream of potentially being
Mm.
part of this and like having to create this. I'm glad someone beat me to the punch and started this.
Right.
I definitely don't have the the technical skills that they have to get it done in the first place. So who knows if I'll be able to do it. But I'm glad someone did it.